Imagine your body as a high-performance engine. You provide the fuel, expecting power and efficiency, yet the system begins to fail. It sputters. It stalls. It accumulates internal sludge that clogs the lines. This is the reality of a compromised metabolism. It is not merely about the number on a scale, it is a systemic blockade where your cells are starved of energy despite an abundance of fuel. You are feeding the machine, but the energy never reaches the combustion chamber. The doors to your cellular power are locked from the inside. This is not a failure of will, but a failure of chemistry. Today, we peel back the curtain on 7 common items lurking in your pantry that act as metabolic saboteurs. These are the silent agents of that internal friction, quietly dismantling your ability to burn fuel cleanly. We are moving past the marketing labels and the health-conscious branding to look at the raw biological impact of what you consume every single day. The engine is stalling, and it is time to identify the debris in the fuel line. The first saboteur hides in plain sight: fruit juice. Marketed as a morning staple, the industrial processing of these drinks performs a surgical strike on the fruit, stripping away the protective fiber. What remains is not nutrition, but a concentrated, rapid-fire surge of fructose. In nature, fiber acts as a brake, slowing the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. Without it, that brake is gone. You drink a glass, and your system is immediately flooded. Because only the liver can process this specific compound, the organ is forced into a state of metabolic overload. It cannot burn this sudden influx for immediate energy. Instead, it converts the excess directly into triglycerides. You are effectively triggering fat storage with every sip. The insulin resistance begins here, in the liver, as it struggles to manage the sheer volume of sugar it was never designed to handle at once. Nature intended for you to chew the fruit, to work for the energy, and to receive the fiber that keeps your system balanced. When you drink the essence of its sugar, you bypass your body's natural safeguards. The second saboteur is far more pervasive and insidious: industrial seed oils. Found in canola, soybean, and sunflower products, these are not the cold-pressed, traditional fats of antiquity. They are the products of modern chemical engineering. To extract oil from these seeds, manufacturers use high-heat processing, chemical solvents, bleaching agents, and deodorizers to strip away the natural scent and color. What you pour into your pan is a highly unstable, oxidized substance. Once ingested, these omega-6 heavy oils do not simply pass through your system. They integrate directly into your cell membranes, physically altering the structure of your tissues. They replace the stable fats your body requires, creating a foundation for chronic low-grade inflammation. This is not a temporary effect. Because these oils are stored in your adipose tissue, they linger in your body for months, constantly leaching into your bloodstream and signaling your immune system to remain on high alert. Opt instead for stable traditional fats like extra virgin olive oil, which do not undergo this aggressive chemical transformation. The third saboteur is the modern darling of the health aisle: oat milk. While marketed as a clean, plant-based alternative, it is essentially a starch slurry. To create this liquid, manufacturers break down oat grains into a fine powder and subject them to enzymes that convert the complex carbohydrates into simple sugars. You are not drinking a whole food. You are drinking a processed liquid that has been stripped of its structural integrity. Starch is simply a long chain of sugar molecules, and once it hits your saliva, the breakdown begins immediately. Many commercial varieties exacerbate this by adding even more sugars and thickeners to improve the texture. When you consume this, your blood glucose levels do not rise gradually. They spike with the intensity of pure glucose. Your pancreas responds by dumping a massive volume of insulin. This leads to the inevitable crash, a sudden drop in blood sugar that leaves your brain starved of fuel and your body demanding more energy. You reach for a snack to stop the fatigue, starting the cycle over again. You are not nourishing your cells, you are trapping your metabolism in a volatile loop. The fourth saboteur is a master of deception: agave nectar. Found prominently in health food aisles and marketed as a natural, low-glycemic sweetener, it is a wolf in sheep's clothing. The reality hidden behind the label is that agave contains a fructose concentration significantly higher than even high-fructose corn syrup. Because fructose is not glucose, it does not trigger a standard insulin response, which allows it to bypass the glycemic index entirely. This is not a benefit, it is a tactical advantage for the substance to reach your liver without resistance. Once it arrives, your liver is forced to process the entire load at once. It cannot be used for immediate cellular energy by your muscles or brain. Instead, Your liver converts this concentrated fructose directly into triglycerides and stored fat. You are essentially flooding your primary metabolic organ with a substance it is not equipped to handle in such high volumes. This creates a state of metabolic stress that remains invisible on a standard blood sugar test. You believe you are making a superior choice, yet you are subjecting your liver to a more aggressive chemical assault than you would with conventional sweeteners. By the time the damage manifests as insulin resistance or fatty liver, the cycle of metabolic sabotage is already deeply entrenched. Agave nectar is not a health food. It is a concentrated fructose bomb disguised as a natural alternative. The fifth saboteur is found in the refrigerated section, masquerading as a probiotic tonic, commercial kombucha. You reach for it to balance your gut microbiome, expecting a living, fermented beverage that supports your internal ecosystem. However, the modern, mass-produced versions are a far cry from the traditional, slow-fermented brews of the past. To meet global demand, manufacturers rush the fermentation process, cutting it short to maximize throughput. Because this truncated process leaves the drink tasting harsh and vinegary, they spike the final product with significant amounts of fruit juice and cane sugar. You are no longer consuming a therapeutic, low-sugar ferment. You are drinking a sugar-laden beverage that acts as a primary fuel source for the very yeast and pathogenic bacteria. Every sip delivers a surge of fructose and glucose that bypasses the beneficial effects. Instead of cultivating a healthy gut, you are effectively fertilizing the overgrowth. The irony is absolute. You are feeding the imbalance you set out to correct, all while believing you are making a restorative choice. The sixth saboteur hides in plain sight within the fitness industry: bulk protein powders. You invest in these products with the singular goal of muscle repair and metabolic recovery. You expect a clean, concentrated source of amino acids to fuel your body after physical exertion. However, look closer at the label. Many commercial powders are padded with maltodextrin, a cheap, highly processed carbohydrate filler. Maltodextrin is not a protein. It is a rapid-release sugar that carries a glycemic index higher than table sugar. When you consume this, you are not just fueling muscle synthesis. You are triggering a massive, immediate insulin spike. This surge of insulin forces your body to shift gears, prioritizing fat storage over the repair of your muscle tissues. To avoid this, you must look past the marketing claims on the front of the tub and inspect the ingredient list for absolute purity. The seventh and final culprit is the most insidious of all: industrial modified starches. These are the silent fillers, the invisible architects of metabolic decline found in nearly every processed item on your pantry shelf. Because these starches do not taste sweet, your brain fails to register them as sugar. There is no warning signal, no cloying taste to alert your palate, and no immediate spike in sweetness to trigger your internal defenses. Yet, your body processes these complex chains exactly like glucose. They are broken down, absorbed, and dumped into your bloodstream with the same efficiency as refined sugar. You consume them in soups, sauces, dressings, and snacks, believing you are avoiding the sugar trap, while your metabolism is being systematically dismantled from the inside. Over the course of a single year, these hidden starches accumulate into hundreds of pounds of metabolic stress. They create a constant, low-grade inflammatory state. These 7 saboteurs, from fruit juice to modified starches, have collectively turned your metabolic engine into a stalled, sludge-filled machine. The path to reclaiming your metabolic health does not lie in the aisles of a pharmacy or in the latest complex supplement. It is found in the simple, deliberate act of returning to whole, unprocessed foods. Your body was designed to thrive on nutrients, not industrial chemistry. Start by examining every label you encounter. If the ingredient list reads like a laboratory manual, put it back. Purge the industrial additives that have quietly sabotaged your cellular energy for years. Replace the seed oils with traditional, stable fats like extra virgin olive oil. Swap the starch-laden convenience items for real, recognizable food that grew from the earth. This is not a temporary diet, it is a fundamental shift. Every time you choose a whole food over a processed alternative, you are sending a direct signal to your cells to unlock their energy potential. You are clearing the sludge from your engine and restoring the efficiency that was always yours to command. Your metabolism is not a fixed destiny written in your genetic code. It is a dynamic, responsive system that changes based on the quality of your daily choices. You hold the key to this transformation. By removing the saboteurs and providing the fuel your body was built to burn, you stop the cycle of storage and begin the process of revitalization. The power to change your internal landscape is in your hands, starting with the very next meal you prepare. Take control, choose quality, and watch as your system responds with renewed vitality and strength.